For the better part of 4 decades, the King of the Ring tournament has been known as one of the most prestigious tournaments in all of WWE. Many many Hall of Famers have entered the tournament, but only the best have been known to call themselves king. From from the first ever King of the Ring winner, Don Morocco, to Harley Race, from Randy Savage to the Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, to Bret the Hitman Hart, who is the only two-time King of the Ring winner in history, to Stone Cold Steve Austin, to Kurt Angle, all the way to last year's winner, Cody Rhodes. These superstars and then some have went on to win championships and get themselves inducted into the Hall of Fame. But this goes all the way back to 1985. Literally just 3 months, literally just 4 months after the first WrestleMania took place, when Don Morocco, excuse me, defeated the Iron Sheik in Foxborough, Massachusetts. From that point going forward, the King of the Ring tournament became a staple to WWE. Harley Race, Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana, Bret the Hitman Hart, Owen Hart, Mabel, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Ken Shamrock, Billy Gunn, Kurt Angle, Edge, and Brock Lesnar all followed suit of becoming King of the Ring. However, in 2002, Brock Lesnar won that very same tournament, and WWE announced that the winner would receive a title match at SummerSlam later that year. Brock Lesnar defeated Rob Van Dam in Columbus, Ohio, and he would go on to SummerSlam to defeat The Rock to become the youngest WWE champion in history at that time. However, the King of the Ring tournament kind of died down for a while until 2006, when WWE announced that it would make its return to WWE. Booker T defeated Bobby Lashley in 2006 in Phoenix, Arizona at Judgment Day to become the man we've known as King Booker, and he would then later on win the World Heavyweight title. And then after that, it became a staple once again. When William Regal, Sheamus, and Bad News Barrett would win the tournament. Now keep in mind this. The 2010 King of the Ring tournament and the 2015 tournament came about in a 5-year gap, meaning that 5 years later, after Sheamus became King of the Ring, Bad News Barrett became King of the Ring before he got released from WWE less than a year later. Fast forward 4 years later, Baron Corbin became the man we've known as King Corbin before losing everything to Shinsuke Nakamura. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we did not get another King of the Ring tournament until 2021, when when the man we've known as Xavier Woods defeated Finn Balor, and then obviously the King of the Ring tournament didn't come back until 3 years later, 2 years ago, in 2024, when Gunther won the King of the Ring tournament and would go on to SummerSlam to defeat Damian Priest to win the World Heavyweight title, And then last year, Cody Rhodes won the crown. Excuse me. And would go on to SummerSlam to recapture the WWE title from the man that we've known that we now know as the Never Seen 17, John Cena. Both the King of the Ring winners, ironically enough, defeated Randy Orton, which is insane. Now, we fast forward to now, and WWE has once again brought back the King of the Ring tournament. And not only that, but we also have as well the Queen of the Ring tournament also. Because the Queen of the Ring tournament was established in 2021 when Zelina Vega at the time it was known as the Queen's Crown tournament. And Zelina Vega went on to defeat Piper Niven, aka Doudrop, to win the Queen's Crown tournament. And then, of course, 2 years ago, Nia Jax defeated Lyra Valkyria to win the tournament, and went on to become WWE Women's Champion. And then last year, Jade Cargill won, defeating Asuka, and ultimately lost to Tiffany Stratton at last year's SummerSlam inside MetLife Stadium. But obviously, Jade Cargill got her lick back not too long later. So we now move into this year's King and Queen tournament, where this might just be one of the most stacked tournaments we have ever seen. Think about this. There is at least, excuse me, there is at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There is at least 15 former or current world champions competing in this tournament. And this is kind of insane because on the men's side, because if you guys do not know or did not look at the brackets, all the matches are going to be fatal 4-way matches, which in my opinion, I feel like that might be a bit too much. I feel like it should have been strictly one-on-one matches, like they were back in the day. But that's just my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but that's just my opinion. But in the first bracket, we've got Penta, Obafemi, Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes in one fatal 4-way. The other fatal 4-way, we've got literally an all champions matchup. We've got Dominic Mysterio, the AAA Mega Champion, Braun Breaker, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Trick Williams, the United States Champion, and Damian Priest, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. In the third bracket, we've got Seth freaking Rollins, Javon Evans, Tala Tonga, and Ricky Saints. And then in the final men's bracket, we've got Jey Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor. And it seems like Finn Balor has moved over to SmackDown as part of the SmackDown roster. I mean that could, I don't know if that's really a fact. I don't know what the hell's going on with Finn Balor, but on the women's side, in the first bracket, we've got Liv Morgan, the current women's world champion, which makes no sense whatsoever. We've got Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green. In the second bracket, we've got Sol Ruka, the brand new women's Intercontinental Champion, which congrats to her by the way. Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte Flair, and Jade Cargill, which should be interesting after the confrontation from last night. Bracket 3, we've got Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, Julia, and Lash Legend. And in the final bracket, we've got Bayley, Raquel Rodriguez, JC Jane, and Kiana James. This means that all the members of the Judgment Day are going to be in this tournament, with the exception of JD McDonough. Excuse me. And this also means that a member of the new bloodline, obviously talking about Roman and the Usos and now Jacob Fatu, a member of the bloodline is going to be in this tournament as well. So on the women's side, looking at the first bracket, right? Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green. Who walks out as the victor? Well, here's the thing, right? Because you got 3 former or current world champions in Liv, Becky, and Bliss. Then of course you've got Chelsea Green, which people seem to forget that she's a former champion in TNA. She's won championships pretty much almost everywhere she's been, and she's a former women's tag team champion and a 2-time women's United States champion as well. She's ultimately become the sleeper in this tournament, if you will. And when you look at everything that's happened overall, we know that Becky Lynch is going to be going into this match extremely hot-headed, 100%. After what happened last night at Clash in Italy, losing the women's Intercontinental title to Sol Ruka, it's safe to say that Becky Lynch is going to be going into this match hot-headed and pissed off, and that could become a huge factor for Becky Lynch, because if she's not focused on the tournament, one could argue that she could potentially lose. Hang on a second. Let me fix my tripod. There we go. Sorry guys. I had to move I had to adjust the camera angle down a little bit. But anyway, I think the odds-on favorite going into this into this match, 100% is going to be Alexa Bliss. The dark horse is going to be Liv Morgan, because of the fact that she's the current women's world champion, and I don't get why she wants to be in this tournament. I mean, I know that last night on the Clash in Italy post show, she said that she wanted everything, but this might be a bit too much for the current champion. So she's going to be the dark horse in this matchup, and the wild card is definitely going to be Becky Lynch, with Chelsea Green as the sleeper. So who wins? Honestly, I think it's going to be Liv Morgan, and the reason for that is because if what the rumors say are true, and Night of Champions takes place in Riyadh again, there is no doubt in my mind that Liv Morgan is going to potentially win the entire thing. So who wins? As far as this bracket goes, it would have to be Liv Morgan. The second bracket, this one's gonna be a bit interesting because after what happened last night, we know that Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair are going to beat the holy hell out of each other, and they're not even going to be focused on the tournament in any capacity, in any capacity. But if there's one thing that we've known when it comes to Becky Lynch, she is going to cost Sol Ruka a spot in the second round of the tournament, so that could potentially leave Lyra Valkyria. But honestly, I think Charlotte Flair could pull this off because if she removes Jade Cargill from the match and just put her focus on Sol and Lyra, I mean, she's a veteran. She's been doing this a long time. Charlotte Flair, I mean, she's gonna be the wild card going into this match with Sol Ruka as the the odds-on favorite, Lyra Valkyria as the sleeper, and the dark horse definitely going to be Jade Cargill, in spite of her being last year's winner. So my prediction for that bracket, anyway, probably going to be Charlotte Flair. The third bracket, I'm just being real. Don't get it twisted, right? Because Lash Legend has been on fire ever since she got called up to the main roster and teamed with Nia Jax. Her stocks, if you will, have risen to the roof, and she had such an incredible performance at I can't speak. At WrestleMania just a couple months ago, and it's safe to say that Lash Legend is going to be going into this match the odds-on favorite alongside Io Sky, but the dark horse is going to be Roxanne Perez with Julia as the sleeper because of the fact that Julia has not been used often on TV that much. So this tournament is the perfect start for Julia to finally get noticed again on TV like she did when she was in NXT. So if I were to make a prediction with this bracket, I would have to say Julia. Excuse me. The final bracket, this one's going to be a little interesting because we've got 3 heels going after a babyface in the form of Bayley. And with Bayley's focus being on this upcoming Saturday at Noche de los Grandes, with that trios match, which is going to be her, La Catalina, and the NXT Women's Champion Lola Vice taking on Los Toxicas, I think it's safe to say that Bayley might not be able to focus on this fatal 4-way because her mind is too focused on that trios match this coming Saturday. So I think it's going to be JC Jane with how much she has done on SmackDown recently. That could become a huge factor. So that would bring us into the semifinals. Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair. Who would win? I mean, to be fair, Charlotte Flair has defeated Liv Morgan multiple times before in the past, and I think in my opinion, I don't think Liv Morgan needs the Queen of the Ring crown because she's already the Women's World Champion, and we know that she's going to be defending her title at SummerSlam anyway. So there's really no point in Liv Morgan winning the entire tournament. So my money would have to be on Charlotte Flair. So between Julia and JC Jane, who would win? That's a tricky one because with Julia, yeah, sure she has Kiana James, but there's been a bit of a falling out between the two, and that would play a huge factor going into into her semifinal match against JC Jane if that match were to actually happen. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, I think it's going to be JC Jane, and the reason for that is because of the fact that she's going to have the numbers game to her advantage, especially with the Fatal 4-Way. She's gonna have the numbers advantage. She's gonna have Fallon Henley. She's gonna have Laney Reed, and it's going to play a huge factor no matter what. So JC Jane. So that would bring to Charlotte Flair and JC Jane. This is crazy because Charlotte Flair does have Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley, and honestly, I think the fans want to see Rhea and Charlotte go at it one more time. But I think for the Queen of the Ring tournament, it's definitely going to be JC Jane. I think because of how much better JC Jane has gotten in the ring over the last couple of years now, it's definitely going to favor JC Jane more than anything else. But then again, Charlotte Flair, there's a reason why she calls herself the Queen, and it's because of that, because she is that damn good. So I don't know. That one I don't think I would be able to predict, but if I were to make a bold prediction, I would probably say JC Jane. That brings us to the men's side. Let's just keep it real. Obafemi. First round, Obafemi wins. I'm just being real on that because Obafemi, after last night, he is going into this match hella vengeful, and it ain't gonna be pretty. The second bracket, honestly, I kind of want Braun Breaker to win because I want to see it, right? Braun Breaker, Obafemi, dude, that would be sick. That would be a hella crazy, but thinking on it, I think, to be quite honest, it'll most likely be it'll most likely be Braun Breaker because of the fact that he still has his eyes on the World Heavyweight title, now currently being held by Roman Reigns, and I think it's safe to say that that if Braun Breaker does make it to the finals, whoever his finals opponent is, he's gonna be in for one hell of a fight. So that brings us to the third bracket, and honestly, as much as I want to see Javon Evans earn that spot, it's got to be Seth Rollins. Because he will do whatever it takes to get his hands back on the World Heavyweight title, get his hands on Roman Reigns. He's got all that on his mind. That could give him the fuel he needs to win the whole thing. As far as the final bracket goes, this one's a little interesting because you've got three guys who have dealt with Roman Reigns before, but you have a guy also who has never been a part of something this huge, something this prestigious, something this historic, and that could play a huge factor for Royce Keys. And I don't think it's going to be Keys. As much as I want to see Royce take that spot, I think it's going to be Finn Balor for one reason. And it's because of the fact that the last time he was in the King of the Ring tournament, now the last couple times that he was in the tournament, not only did he get eliminated, I think from the first round, but he also lost the finals as well, and that one was back in 2021. So Finn Balor definitely has a lot to prove. So that brings us to the semifinals. Braun Breaker, Obafemi. Man, I don't even know what to say. Honestly, that would be a crazy matchup. But I think it's going to be Braun Breaker because of the fact that he's gonna have Austin Theory backing him up, and most likely Brock Lesnar could potentially show up again, which is possible, and we're most likely going to see Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi round 3 at Night of Champions, which is going to be a high possibility. So Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Man, the battles that these two had over, not only over the World Heavyweight title, but also over the Universal title as well, the Intercontinental title, the United States title. These guys were basically destined for one another. They're like wrestling soulmates, if you will. And anytime you see these two go at it one-on-one, there's always magic. This one would definitely be an instant classic, but I gotta go with Seth Rollins on this one. So that would leave the finals. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. Man, oh man. Backlash did not work out for Seth. This time it could. But I am predicting Seth Rollins because he's got the Street Profits backing him up. Braun Breaker, all he has is Austin Theory. Logan Paul is out with a torn tricep. He just I saw his post on Instagram not that long ago, and he just had surgery, and now he's currently rehabbing. And it hasn't even been a week yet, which is insane. Logan Paul said that he would be back within a couple weeks. It's impossible to come back from an injury that devastating within a few weeks. At best, 4 months. But Logan Paul is going to be out for at least 6 to 9 months, which is insane. And this is his first major injury that actually required surgery. The last injury that he had, he didn't need surgery in any capacity, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, I mean with the Maverick completely MIA for now, and with Bronson Reed still MIA, Breaker is gonna have a tall task on his hands against Seth Rollins. But I think we're gonna see Seth Rollins walk away as King of the Ring, and potentially will challenge Roman at SummerSlam. But if you guys feel like that I am wrong, and you think that someone else from these brackets should win the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments respectively, let me know down in the comments below. And that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Excuse me. If you guys did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.